Alfonso. Bill Alfonso has been in the wrestling business for roughly 15 to 20 years, has stories on just about everything and anybody. I want to welcome you here, Bill, to our offices.
Well, it's great to be here, guys.
Cool. Why don't you just first start, how did you get in the business?
Basically, like you guys were big fans, obviously. So was I when I was growing up. I mean, Eddie Graham and Malenko and Sailor Art Thomas and some of those guys. My dad got a couple of passes. He was buddies with a sports editor, Tampa Times, and they went to lunch, and my dad got a couple free tickets and brought them home and said, "Hey, Billy, you wanted some tickets to go to wrestling?" I said, "Wrestling? What the hell's that?" Because I've never watched it on TV. I guess it was about maybe 10, 12 years old. So the tickets sat up on the counter all week, and Tuesday night I started getting itchy, and what the hell is it? And I grabbed the tickets, and I've been a fan ever since.
That's cool. Wow.
So it started off like that, and of course we got real interested in it and wanted to get it. A couple years later, my stepbrother, which is a Cuban assassin, Dave Sierra, Fidel Sierra, he's had so many different gimmicks.
That's your stepbrother?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're actually stepbrothers. So we got into business together. We went, those two free passes were for both of us to go down. So, of course, he grew up to be 285. He's a fucking animal now. Should I cut out the profanity?
No. Total, whatever.
Okay.
Anything.
So we kept going and loved it. Oh, my God, we wanted to get involved so bad. And we started meeting a couple of the guys, not backstage. They didn't take us right in, but like at the bars and like.
So we did.
Actually, we were like Marks, following the guys around.
How old were you at that time?
I guess I was about 12, 14, 16, 17, 18-ish before we start getting to know. Like, the first guys we got to meet was King Curtis, who liked us a lot for some reason, kind of took us under his wing. Rocky Johnson. Mm-hmm. He helped my brother get booked in Dallas. That was his first break, and that was actually my first break, too, because my brother said, "Do you want to go out there with me? I got a job. I'm booked. And I'll tell him you were a referee," which was the truth, because I refereed a few little independent shows there. The opposition shows, they called them then.
Right.
Same basic difference. And he said, "Come out with me and tell them you're a referee, and if they can use you, if they don't, I should be able to make enough money to maintain us both." I said, "Okay, great." Well, and this was in Dallas, Texas, and I had basically never left Tampa Bay, Right. The young kid besides on vacation somewhere. Right. So me and him on our own. We left in a Ford Galaxy 500, a 1976 car. And it was, I forgot the exact year. I'll find out for you guys. So we went out there. We drove out to Dallas, and Gary Hart was the booker. So my brother was already booked. They were expecting him to come in on this date and sign papers and get his booking sheet and all that. So I walked into the office with him, sat down, and they introduced each other. And they said, "My little brother is a rep. If you can use him, great. If not, he's going to be here with me traveling around." And so, of course, they had David Manning and Bronco Lubitsch, and there was another guy there, older guy. So the referees were locked up. Oh, actually, there was 4 territories at that time. There was Joe Blanchard.
Right, Southwest Championship Wrestling.
There was Paul Bosch, who only ran Houston, basically. The Von Erichs, and then the Funks ran like Amarillo and Northern Texas and all that. So it was 4 basic territories, right. But they would all interact with each other. Right. Send underneath talent to do TVs. There was 4 different TVs there, basically. So I started riding around, and I met some of the guys. Now, this is actually my first time really being involved in the dressing room in NWA, was what they called it then. They were all, NWA was the main core, and then everybody else had their little names, but right. They'd all use the same champion and stuff like that. So this was pretty big for me to be involved in the. I watched these guys. I was growing up. I hung out with them and stuff, and now I'm right in there. Actually, I wasn't in, but my brother was in. But I was in the dressing room because they accepted me as a referee, and right. I'd get Coke. Say, fine, go get a Coke for Harley Race and stuff like that. So I was like a soda boy. I heard Eric Bischoff was too. I heard that. I don't know how true that was, But look at Eric now, right?
Right.
One of the most powerful guys in the business as we speak.
Right.
So we traveled around, and I got to be known to the guys, and I was accepted, and was a yes man, of course. Anything that had to be done, go to the store, just like
Yeah.
So let's see. So we were traveling around quite a bit, and several months went by, and I wasn't working at all. And Funk called the Dallas office up, send 4 guys up there to do TV. We'll need them for 3 days, and we'll send them back. Good to get them out of there. Send them 4 days. They would get a payday. So they sent my brother, Tom, Joey Chitwood. This Joey Chitwood's a famous race car driver, stunt guy.
Right.
Okay.
And this guy named Tom Laxton took his name, was as Joey Chitwood, just to be affiliated, and was a stunt guy. And a couple other guys, maybe it was Doug Summers or somebody like that. So they went up there, and I stayed in Dallas. And my brothers told Dory, if you could ever use my brother, he's in Dallas with me. He's a referee. I said, okay. So that they came back, they did their show. About a month later, the Amarillo office calls the Dallas office again. Send me 4 guys. I like that. Patterson, my brother's name was David Patterson. Send Patterson, send Chitwood, send this guy, send that guy, and send Patterson's brother.
Right.
Boy, I was fucking excited. My God. I said,
Yeah.
holy shit, this is my first thing. And I had an oversized referee shirt, had baggy pants, and I had wrestling boots, and my brother gave me that was size 12, and I wore a 10. So I get up there. We drove up. We drove up from Dallas to, it was Lubbock, Texas. So this is my first night actually getting paid to be a professional referee. And wouldn't you know it, it's kind of ironic because it was my first night, and now my first pay-per-view. I'm affiliated with the main event, the pay-per-view, right?
Right.
So that relates to Sabu, which relates to the Sheik, which relates to my first night in the business, was the Sheik and Terry Funk in a chain match.
Oh, wow.
My first night in the business.
Oh, wow.
So, and of course, Dory Funk was there. Oliver Humperdinck was there managing different guys, but if they flew in like the Sheik or somebody for that special night, the Sheik would be managed by Oliver Humperdinck. And I didn't know Oliver, but I knew him from Florida, but not real well.
Right.
So I was real excited about it, and they were going over the production of the show that night. It wasn't TV, it was just a live show. And I remember Terry Funk coming up to me and saying basically how the show was going to progress. And can you cut that just for a second?
Yeah.
Because the business is kind of sacred. I broke in that way, so I like to keep it at a bit. Well, us guys is different, but everybody thinks they're smart, but they don't know how it's done. And,
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to Terry Funk, and Terry Funk says, I'll probably take a duff. I'll probably do this. He says, you understand? I said, yeah. I didn't understand a word he fucking said. I'll take a duff. Let's take a duff. You know what I mean? Which means take a powder, which means take a scoop,
Right.
Yeah.
So he said, you understand? I said, yeah, I'm not going to say no because I look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So I think I was the only referee that night. That's why they called me up, because they were stuck. They were in the spot with no referees. So that's why I was there. So for some reason, I was a fucking genius that night. I was a natural. The time that I've been around the business, a little bit of the opposition shows that I worked, a little bit of the stuff that I seen in the first 4 or 5 months that I was with my brother traveling the loop, watching the guys. I wasn't there reading the book in the dressing room. I was watching the monitor. I was watching the shows. I was listening to how they would go over their matches and their strategies and stuff. So I was a natural. Got up to the main event, and here comes the Sheik and Humperdinck first with a big fucking snake. Who brought the snake? It was a Baby Doll.
Right.
Okay.
Was it her dad a promoter or something?
Yeah. Jake Roberts' dad.
Grizzly Smith.
No, that we're talking about Baby Doll, who was married to Jake's brother.
Sam Houston.
But she was something to do with the business.
I think so too. I think her
Her
dad,
dad or something was affiliated. So anyway, she brought her pet snake for the Sheik to bring to the ring for a prop, you know?
That's so cool.
So the Sheik walks in with the big snake, and I like snakes, you know? And Harper Dink says, sell the fucking snake. I didn't know to sell the snake. He's pointing, so I took a powder. So the match progressed, and it went on, and the Sheik ripped my shirt off and poked me with a pencil. I didn't bleed or anything, but the whole night was over, and I got a $90 check. My first night in business was night. I was ecstatic. Oh my God, look at this $90 check. I'm so happy. And the best thing about that is that Dory Funk saw something in me. He says, oh, we like you, man. We love you. We'll use you as much as we can, but we're limited because we got our own guys and this and that. But he loved me. And all the guys liked me. I was just a natural, the right place at the right time. And I was hungry for the business. I would do anything. And I just did all my bumps and flips and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we went back to Dallas and finished this tour out. And I guess those times we were doing like, you would stay in the territory for a year or 6 months or 9 months, and then the office would get you booked somewhere else at Interchange. So his tour was winding up, and I only worked like, excuse me, maybe 3 times the whole time I was there for 6 months. So I worked with Joe Blanchard one time with the referee, something that got a flat tire or something happened, and they had to use me. Because I was there, and I always had my referee gear with me in their car. I wouldn't carry it in the dressing room, but it would be, they said, you got your gear? Yes, I do. So, my brother gets booked. The office says, well, you're going to finish up, but we got you booked in Mid-Atlantic in the Carolinas. What we didn't know at that time was one of the hottest territories in the country. You know, it was Flair and Wahoo and that big run, and what was the booker's name there then?
Crockett?
George Scott.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was Crockett owned the company and overseed it, but George, everybody had the bookers. So my brother said, we're going to Mid-Atlantic. We'll do the same thing there we did in Texas. I'll take you. You're my little brother. At least you got a little bit of background now. Tell the booker there that you're here with me. If you can use it, the whole 9 yards. So we drive to Carolinas. We had a great time in Texas. We learned a lot. Got to Carolinas. And went to the office. Checked in the hotel. The next day went to the office. And George Scott, my name is Dave Patterson. Yeah. It's my little brother. He's a referee. He worked for the Funks and the Blanchards and this and that. Good, excuse me. If you can use him, we'd appreciate it. He's going to be with me the whole tour, the whole time we're here. So he said, well, we got Tommy Young. We got, there was 4 for the one of the Hebners. There was several referees. So, damn, I can't think of the old time guy's name. Stu Hart. No, not Stu Hart. Stu. Damn, I'll think of the name. Stu Schwartz, the referee. And we had our own referees, but if we can use it, fine. So I was there for about, I guess about another 6 months. So now I've been away from home for a year, basically. But with my brother, having a good time, learning, young kid, and having a nice time. And some of the guys that I met in Texas came through, like Harley Race, and all the guys would come through. The bigger names would come through and rotate the whole country, and the smaller guys would just go from territory to territory underneath, basically. So I worked maybe twice the whole time I was in the Carolinas because they had their own guys. They couldn't use me if they had a flat or somebody got sick. Use Patterson's little brother. So that's what happened. Finally, I got tired. I said, Dave, you're making good money. You've been taking care of me. I eat like a king. You buy me whatever I need. If I'm sick, you pay. But I don't have a life. I said, you do. I need to do something. I guess I'm going to go home. I was getting discouraged.
Right.
You know, I wanted to be in the ring. I didn't want to be a coke boy no more, which was fine. But I wanted to do more. If I couldn't do that, I'd go home until I had a chance, if I ever did.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.